Hello everyone, this is the here trio. I'm Pulkit, and as always, I am joined by my co-hosts Daniel and Michael. Michael, how's it going?
It's going good. International break this week, so it's going to be a very long weekend of hearing my team. How about you, Daniel?
Yeah, I'm doing great as well. Happy to be back. Talk about it. And yeah, happy to be near the weekend. What about you, Pulkit? All good on your side?
Yeah, all good. Actually, pretty much till last season, I felt like international breaks were boring, but now when we are into creating content, it feels like a good gap where we can analyze things and provide more better content for the community. All right. So in this video, we basically review our teams from game week 3. We haven't made any concrete plans, but we'll discuss a few things on what we want to do in game week 4 and what is the most likely transfer maybe. So let's start with a team review. And as always, making the start with you, Daniel.
Yeah, for sure. So I had a tough week. As you can see here, last week I cracked the top 150K, but Haaland's with another hat trick this week. I guess second time's the charm. This time he hurts me because the rest of the team didn't really. Actually, they kind of did. I mean, Salah got 17, Trent 6, Davis 7. But in hindsight, I should have captained Salah instead of Palmer, who got 6, and then Watkins finally returned, but he only played 60 minutes. And that made his price drop because everyone transferred him out, even though he had good fixtures. So yeah, Isaac also finally returned. Gordon still blanked after his 10-pointer last week. And Arthur clean sheet got wiped for the first time this season. After that, Declan Rice red card, which I think was questionable. So yeah, I mean, I dropped 400K, tough week overall. I took a few days break from X to clear my head. That's pretty much it for my game week review. Looking to bounce back this week after the international break.
Yeah, that red card for Declan Rice is definitely debatable. I mean, technically on paper, you could give something like that as a red card, but you have to be consistent. At this
Completely.
level, this is really, really bad.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you guys watched the game, but I think Juan Pedro also got
Exactly.
this like that.
Yeah.
He like the one with I don't know if he was on yellow or not, but I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, consistency probably is what's needed. But anyways, we'll talk about the Arsenal game later. And then leave it over to my bus team.
Yep.
So as of right now, my team is pretty much the same, but I am looking to make a change or two even. Wild card is necessary. And Hall and defense, he's played for I think 20 minutes in each of the last two games. So he got a 1 pointer each time. So I think his time might be up. And then I think we all heard that Palmer and Watkins withdrew from the England team. So if they're both injured and then I have to take care of Lewis Hall as well, I might just wild card. But right now, I'm gonna make any rush decisions. I'm gonna wait and see the extent of their injuries and push the deadline to make my move. And I think Salah as captain is probably set for me. Yeah, maybe Trent is differential, but for now, it's probably Salah.
But with Nottingham Forest, so far they are the second best defense in Premier League. Yeah, they have faced easier fixtures. Maybe this could change this week with Liverpool facing them. But is there someone else that you are also considering?
Pretty much that one.
I mean, I would say Watkins, he's playing Everton. I mean, that's if he plays over 60 minutes, but then with his injury down and we don't know how much he's going to play. I don't know, honestly, maybe Bournemouth. But again, as you mentioned, I mean, Forest played Southampton and Bournemouth. So I wouldn't say they're great teams, to score goals. So again, the numbers are skewed. I think we all know that. But yeah, no, I'm definitely going to form that decision in the next couple of days. And then, well, thank
Yeah, true. All right. Looks good. On to your team, Michael.
Yep. So for this week, I finally got a green arrow. However small it is, I'm just going to take it as a win. Dean Henderson finally got a return. I mean, he somehow got 6 saves in that game, which was good because I expected Chelsea to score a lot more goals. I mean, my defense went okay. Michaelenko again dismal. He had that clean sheet in the palm of his hand until the last 6 minutes. Somehow Bosman scored 3 goals from 87, 90, and I think 94 minutes. Crazy scenes there. So, well, at least, Palmer got a return. Should have captained Salah, but at least the return for my captain. And Isaac, the man who was one of the most transferred out, finally got a return. So that probably helped me out a lot.
Yeah. And what about Muniz? Michael, how much trust do you have in him to blank?
So with Muniz, I don't know, his positioning and his chances are there, but it seems the attacking wingers and Smith Rowe is getting more chances to score. So I might hold him just for one more game because I have other fires to put down. Like Armstrong, for example, he's not as good as I thought he was going to be. Test again, not playing at all. So it's just probably a hold for Windows at the moment.
Yeah. With that, let's maybe look at your bus team.
So with this bus team here, as you can see, Sun is on the bench. There's going to be a lot of changes depending on the actual game news and things like that. But I'm thinking that Salah game may be coming back since there's that extended break. And when Sun is playing on the wing, as we all seen in the first game, he might not score as much as that second one as he's not playing forward. So this is my current bus team, and Salah's my captain. He's probably nailed at the moment. And Padua, if he's out, then I may need to do a wild card for this week.
Interesting.
I saw a nice stat about Muniz you guys were talking about from earlier. Him and Rogers are the only two players like Rose and Price, and that they have the least point. Like, they blanked all 3 game weeks 2-2-2, and then they've been Rose. So it looks like managers still have faith in them.
Yeah.
But as Michael, you mentioned, like how long is that, that patience gonna last?
Yeah. Because, I mean, if you look at N22, for example, he was the most hyped up player. After 2 games, everyone lost interest with him and he went down, I think, 0.3 in the space of like 2 weeks. So that patience is definitely, I think, waning on Muniz. If he does going to have one more bad game, he might have that deep decline in his pricing.
Yeah, yeah. And I think patience of managers would depend on like the fixtures and basically tough minutes. So because these two, Rogers and Muniz, so far on that respect, like fixtures and minutes wise, they look good, unlike Nkunku. So maybe they still would get the fate at least this week. But I think Fulham's good fixtures do not last too long now. So Muniz might be the one to go out, especially since we have a cheaper player in João Pedro doing so well than Muniz.
Yeah, definitely. Everyone seems to be going on the João Pedro train, or even I've been seeing on Twitter, we saw from Brentford. He might be a good differential, and Bruno in the midfield.
Right, then let's look at my team. So good week for me, all thanks to Haaland and Salah pretty much. For Henderson with a return, kind of a return, as Michael pointed out, 6 saves, 4 points. Robinson, again, didn't get the clean sheet, but got the assist. So 4 points for him. Then 6 points with the clean sheet. Poro, 1 point. Though Poro's SGI was actually higher than he had in the first game. And he did hit the crossbar as well. So could have even got a return again. So really excited about Poro, to be honest. And then Rogers, blank. He was my transfer in last week for Brennan Johnson, who actually got a return now that I could. But I am still okay with not having. He was benched and then he came off the bench to get the return. So could be that he becomes an impactful star, but let's see how it goes. Then Salah with the 17-pointer against United. I don't know what happens to Salah. He has like 21 returns in 15 or 16 games. It's like huge. Then Smith Rowe with 2 blank, Gordon blank, Muniz blank, Isaac and Haaland got returns. And Haaland was my captain. I spent pretty much most of the week, last game week, deciding who to captain among Salah and basically now we can see it wouldn't matter too much.
Yeah, I saw a stat that, Haaland and Salah have the exact same number of points through the first 3 game weeks.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's interesting to see.
With the decent game week now, I think Daniel, you and me have pretty much exactly the same number of points.
That's true. Yeah,
Almost.
we 233. Well, exactly the same points.
Yeah. And so basically this also shows how good the pricing has been in this season, that we started with a different strategy, like completely different strategy. And yet we are here after 3 games exactly at the same number of points. So this is exciting.
Definitely. And Michael's catching up as well. So
Michael is, I mean, the comeback kings, right? So
Slowly but surely.
you did it.
Yeah, he was doing it.
That's it. He has to do the narrative.
Yeah, this was my strategy. I definitely wanted to be 7 million at the start so I can come back.
exactly. This was the plan all along.
This was
We
the
had
plan.
we are too naive to even see that.
Yeah. What about your bus team, Pulkit?
Yeah. So busting pretty much the same. Like, I'm not sure if I'll bring Burn in. Not, but mostly not. I don't trust Newcastle defense too much at the moment. The only change I might do and that I'm considering at the moment is maybe getting Lee Davis in for Burn, and then I can bench Burrow against Arsenal. The reason I'm considering Lee Davis is, of course, he is the creative force of Ipswich. And another reason is they are playing Brighton, who have players traveling far off for the international games. So I have a feeling that this could be a high scoring game for Ipswich at Brighton's home. So maybe they don't play that attacking, but if Brighton players are like tired, we have seen it in the past seasons. Like if the players are tired, they traveled a lot and so on, that shows up on the pitch.
Yeah, and even if you do get Leaf Davis, I mean, his next 4 or 5 fixtures is Southampton away, and the next one, and then Villa. All right, that's a tough one. But then West Ham, Everton, Brentford, Leicester. So they do have a nice, good run of fixtures. So could must be like a long-term transfer if you do end up playing it.
Yeah, exactly. And anyways, Newcastle defense is not showing as much. So, I mean, getting burned out wouldn't be as big of an issue as well. Yeah, so that's the plan. I think we went through all our teams. We reviewed game week 3. Our plans for game week 4 are not as concrete as the past weeks because there's still a lot of time. But hopefully we'll record another video and maybe discuss those plans. But for now, I guess we can end this. Thank you everyone for watching. Please like, share and subscribe.